Welcome back to yet another week. It is Swing the Twig. I'm Tommy Franks. It is a Friday, just getting towards the end of April. And if you want to talk to all of us on Swing the Twig, you can go DM us on Instagram at Swing the Twig Pod, Swing Twig on Twitter, just so many other places. And if you're watching the video podcast, thank you so much for watching. We've been putting these up now more often, guys. So Jeff, Anthony, Dom, the whole crew's here. Guys, what's happening?
Yes, sir. Hey, yo.
Not much. I just got my broom. I'm sweeping because you know why? The Padres sweeping the Reds yet again, baby. Feels good. Like Drake says, life is good with future.
Well, the Yankees sweep the Orioles as well. We'll get to all those series and more momentarily. Tuesday we didn't do a podcast. I had some family emergencies to attend to, so we couldn't do anything Tuesday. Unfortunately, it was just bad timing. We were about to get set and everything, so. But if we continue to do that every Tuesday, we will have something up, and every Thursday, obviously, Friday, we're here. And, guys, I mean, we've seen two series sweeps, Padres, Yankees, Ronald Acuña's coming back. Baseball is officially in full swing.
Yep, and I absolutely love it. We were so scared we weren't going to get this, and we're getting into May now, and no other sport on aside from basketball and hockey playoffs. About a month or so, they won't be on anymore. It'll be all baseball again.
Yeah, I think it's good that, I think everyone's kind of past the whole lockout thing. And it's just great that, for the most part, we haven't seen any we've seen some major injuries, I think, in the beginning of the season when everything was going to get ramped up, obviously, with DeGrom. And I feel like a couple other people got out, but for the most part, knock on wood, no one's really gotten severely hurt yet. And I know that was a big thing coming into the season, where it's like, well, with the shortened spring training and everything, and players not being able to train with their training staff and their coaches, that was going to be an issue. But for the most part, I feel like the players did a good job of taking care of their body themselves, and we haven't seen anything drastic from anybody yet. And that might change, but as of now, as I say it in my good graces, no, it's been smooth sailing so far across the league. Which is a good sight to see. And with Acuña coming back, it just makes it that much more better. Because we want the stars, we want the stars to play.
We do. Wait till Tatis comes back. I do have one thing though. Juice the baseball is just a little bit, because man, there are some liners that are like hit 115 plus off the bat, and they're being recorded as outs to gloves in the outfield. Balls are dying at the track, warning track power. So it's not that pretty, but I'm wondering if anything's going to happen to that.
Well, did you see what Chris Bassett said?
No, actually, Anthony, if you could share that.
Did you guys see what he said in this post-game interview?
I saw he made some comment.
Because yeah, he basically said that, to your point of how, you're saying the balls are juiced. The balls are inconsistent. Like, he'll say, like, the first inning, the balls feel good. Then, like, the third inning, he's like, what the hell? Like, they don't feel right. And then that's why we're seeing, like, juice balls. And, it sucks to see for Mets fans, but the hitters are getting hit like crazy. And, there's no consistency with the balls right now. And that's concerning, for hitters, knowing that, okay, you could get plunked. And as much as you want to charge them out, obviously there was a big brawl that happened on Wednesday in the Mets-Cardinals game, because I understand the Mets being all upset with it because they've gotten hit the most, but there's no consistency with it. So that leads me to believe Tom, to your point, the juice balls in terms of it not, the results not matching to what the player's doing with the bat, and with the pitcher not being able to kind of, have a good rhythm or consistency inning by inning, which is probably why we've been seeing so many hit by pitches, at least from the Mets standpoint. We haven't really seen it as much in other teams. I mean, I did see it a couple times. I mean, Tommy, we went to the Yankee game on Wednesday night, and
yeah,
that was an experience. We won't get into what happened, maybe off the record. But Montgomery was a little bit struggling. He'd do some wild pitches.
Yeah, I mean, that was That was quite the series with Baltimore that we got to witness the second game of. It was just all around. I thought it was, it was well, the offense showed up, put it that way, and that's what really mattered to me. I mean, the pitching was kind of there, except for Thursday's closeout of this 10. It was what was supposed to be 10-2 became what 10-5.
Yeah.
Poor Marinaccio from Toms River North, not too far from me, but that's it's, you hate to see it, and with those kind of guys. But yeah, I mean the Yankees' run differential is insane so far this year. I think what is it, above 30? It's like above 35 now on the year so far against opponents. So they're outscoring opponents. They're averaging 3 runs a game or something like that, 3-4 runs a game. On average this season, so that's really cool to see, and I'm happy that they're turning it up. I just hope they can continue it against good teams like Toronto when they go to Canada after this Kansas City series coming up over the weekend. But yeah, it was great to see the offense just like show up. And Anthony, if you recall, we always talk about the long ball or die philosophy that the Yankees consistently have for some reason. They weren't doing that all that often, not as much at least. On Thursday, correct?
Yeah, it was very. Obviously, the whole series, it was at least. Granted, it's Baltimore, but they were more consistent. Obviously, we got some home runs. Obviously, the first game, Rizzo had a 3 home run game, but Gleyber had the big bases clearing triple. Wednesday's night game, there was manufactured run, sac fly, RBI. Score on a wild pitch, and then obviously we had the 2 home runs by Stan and Gallo. Then today it was kind of sac fly, single, double. Judge had the big home run. But we want to see more variety so that, teams have to strategize against this offense differently beyond us being home run or strikeout. So hopefully we do the same thing in Kansas City, but really when we get to Toronto, I want to see this team be more diverse in their offensive attacks. Because if I see that in Toronto, then it's starting to come around. But I got to see it.
Yeah, I agree. And Toronto's pitching has not been amazing so far this year. I think we were talking yesterday, Anthony. The offense was just a little weaker in Toronto so far to start the season than we were expecting. And I think you alluded to Vladdy not hitting as many or any homers since that 3-homer game against Cole. And that was right. And yeah, and the run differential, for Toronto is like, God, if I recall, it's like 3 or 4. It's less than 5 on the season. Compared to the Yankees. What's that?
Yeah, he's hit 1 home run, I believe. I could be wrong, but he's hit 1 home run since that 3-home run game. So he went 0 for 4 that day against Severino. I think the first game of that new series, whichever series the Jays played against, who they played, he went deep. He took the ball opposite way. Since then, he hasn't done much. His average is still good. It's in the 330. So he's hitting the ball, just not ripping it over the fence.
Right. And if you look at, we have it here in the video podcast if you want to see, Toronto's run differential is at 3 right now. And that's including their win against Boston. They're at 3 right now. The Yankees, I'm sorry, I was wrong on the run differential for the Yankees. It's 26. You can see here if you're watching the video podcast. That's crazy stuff. Tampa Bay is a +6 on the run differential against opponents overall in the season. Again, we're a month in. I should really mention that. But hot starts for the Yankees in very good series against Cleveland and Baltimore. Anthony, Jeff, you guys want to add anything before we move on? Regarding the quality of play?
No, not really. Just that it feels like San Diego Studio is taking over MLB for real.
Yeah. We're invading San Diego, Dom. Get scared. But no, I think that's. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna talk about the thing that happened.
Oh yeah.
In the game, but there was that happened. But I think that'll be a different segment.
Well, no, we'll do that now. We'll transition right to it. I guess you're talking about it, Anthony, so I want to just jump right to it.
Yeah. So basically, it's the last game of the series. We're up in we're not up, we're down going into the bottom of the ninth. Fluffla hits a ripping double to tie the game, and Stephen Kwan, the bright spot on the Guardians, smashes into the wall. And when I mean smash into the wall, this man literally gets the wind knocked out of him. And it was bad. It didn't look good. We thought he'd have a concussion. Yeah, I thought he'd get taken out of the game. He didn't. But in that moment, the center fielder, Straw, if I forget his last name,
Straw,
started coming at the fans. And I guess the fans were being very vulgar and saying a lot of profanity towards him. And he got up on the fence and started talking in their face because apparently they were saying some not nice things. Like they were happy that he was hurt and maybe making some racial slurs because he is Asian, and the Asian hate, unfortunately, is still happening in the world today. And it just wasn't good. And then, of course, we then win the game. Glaber hits the big walk-off hit, and you think it's all great for him because Glaber needed that hit. You know, he's been struggling over the last 2 years. He's starting to kind of turn it around for the better. That was a great series he had. He had a great one against Baltimore. But that game, fans were just chucking beers and cans and doing all this shit, really giving it to the Guardian outfielders, which was bad. And it got to the point where Judge and Stan had to literally run over there and say, cut it, like stop, like cut it out. Like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. So it's a bad look on the Yankees. It's a bad look on baseball because it was all over the news. But I mean, you know, unfortunately our thing is going to get the most attention because it happened in game. It is New York. It happened on the field. But after that game, I did see some stuff circulating around the league of stuff happening as well with other teams' fans. But it wasn't like that. It was more like happening in the stands. Like Dom, I'm not gonna let you forget this. You said we were the worst fan base, but your Padres fans give just as much shit. And I've seen your fans literally start beating each other up, and like Dodger fans and shit.
The Dodgers.
So don't think you're getting off. Don't think you're getting off scot free though. No, everyone's fans are just as bad.
No, but those Yankee fans should be banned for life. I'm telling you.
I don't think anyone
I agree.
With that.
Listen, brawls happen. They're stupid. I think they're cringe. Throwing the middle finger at a Dodger fan, but Dodger fans tend to start fights. Just saying. But throwing food, I honestly think Kwan was called racial slurs too. I don't mean to go that way either, but no.
Nah, he was. He had to be.
You're in the outfield. You're a bunch of drunk New Yorkers. I respect Miles Shaw for going up there, to be honest. I'm glad he actually didn't back down and went up there to support his teammate like that. Because I think listen, you can do your boos. You can sometimes say, like, oh, wow, like, you know, what else are you going to do with that low average? But when a guy gets hurt, smacks into the wall like that, totally uncalled for. And then in right, throwing food, you saw Stanton and Judge saying stop. So obviously Boone had something to say about it too. Obviously, they know it's wrong. Just was not a good look for the Yankee fan base at all.
Well, look, you know.
Yeah, and I think to your point.
Go on, Anthony.
I mean, to Don's point, it's like, you know, and I told Tommy, I told you this last night when we were at the game. That's kind of why I don't like to sit in certain areas when I go to games, because you have to be wary of kind of the area that you're in dictates kind of the crowd you're going to be in, right? So, like, for example, if you're lower level at any game, you're really not going to be dealing with those kind of fans to a certain extent. If you're higher up or in the outfield, cheaper seats, they spend more money on beer. They're gonna get a little bit ridiculous. So that's why I'm very like cautious of where I'm sitting or the people I bring to the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as Tommy knows.
Yeah. Let's not.
But
save that for the future.
But yeah, I think that those fans should have been banned. I think that it's not right. I don't know what provokes fans to do this at all, because you're just making yourself look bad and the organization look bad. So I'm just like, why do it? And I feel bad for the workers too. Like, they got to clean that stuff up.
They do. Yeah.
Like, it's like, come on, like, really, like have some like decency.
Right. So yeah, a couple things to that. I think both of you are right, and I think everyone agrees here that the Yankee fans in right field should be banned. The left field fans, you know, I always stand where, you know, I always say that the fans should be able to say what they want, obviously within reason, and I think the players should be able to respond like Kyrie did in Boston. A little more with the middle finger, but I think players should respond verbally. Like they have the right to do that. I think if you can give it, you got to be able to take it. I'm all for that.
I agree with that.
But Miles Straw, I don't mind him responding to Yankee fans the way he did, just verbally, that is. But the climbing into the freaking stands, so the fence is like a Little League fence now because the new electronic ads in the back in left and right field in Yankee Stadium now. So now there's this chain fence, which is how Quan got hurt. It's really crazy to me how people think that it's okay for Straw to just climb up the way he did. It's not like the fans threw anything at Miles Straw or Stephen Quan even, or threw a punch at any of those guys. The part that makes me mad is Miles Straw just hopped up and tried to incite a fight between Yankee fans when it was more of a verbal, shit talk. Let's put it that way. Excuse my French, but. And, Miles Straw then to comment after the game and say the Yankee fans are the worst fan base in the entire league. I mean, come on. And then you didn't egg it on? It's just incredible to me. I can't.
Has he even met a Dodgers fan? Let's start with that question. Has he met a Dodgers fan?
You're trying to get Dom on your side.
Has he met a Phillies fan? Has he met a Red Sox fan?
But that's a good point, Jeff. That's a good point, Jeff. Like there's other fan bases, and when people say it's Yankee fans, right? Like it's not everybody. There's tens of millions of Yankee fans. There's more Yankee fans than any other team around the freaking world. Tens, hundreds. There's how many Yankee caps you'll find in like England, Australia. Hell, you'll find some in Asia too. There's a lot of Yankee fans out there, all over the world. The Yankee logo is famous, so there's a lot of Yankee supporters out there. Do you think they all want to throw trash at opposing players? Think they all support that? No. And this is what I say in politics all the time. The idea of generalizing a whole entire group is really dangerous, and Yankee fans honestly should not take this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there was no one side in this that was right. Everybody that took part in this, with the exception of Judge and everyone running out telling the fans to stop, everybody was wrong. The fans were wrong for instigating it, for potentially using racial slurs and that stuff. Straw was in the wrong for climbing up onto the fence. Yeah, he had a point to defend his teammate, but that's going too far. Yeah. Security is in the wrong for not getting those fans out of there. The umpires are in the wrong for not talking to Straw or tossing him out of the game for that. The Yankees organization is in the wrong for not saying those fans will be banned for life. And MLB is in the wrong for not saying anything about this at all and saying we'll do better next time.
I think
everyone is in the wrong here, and it's going to happen again, unfortunately.
Well, I think as we're speaking...
Well, yeah, because security's down.
Well, yeah.
There's no security at games because I don't know, like the workers there. Like it's just not, the presence isn't there as much. Like we went to opening day and people were coming down to our section and sitting there, and I was getting a little upset because like I know we got a great deal, but we did get a deal. We did pay for our seats at the price we did. I guarantee you people that were coming down were not paying the price that either we were paying or that other people were paying around them, which I don't think is fair. So I think security's down too, which also could have had an impact on why this incident blew up the way it did, and why other incidents in the league are also blowing up too, because I don't think they're getting enough workers to do security.
Fair. That's fair. Just it's well, Anthony and I witnessed it is less security. I should mention there is NYPD presence, quite a bit of it. Should security need backup, NYPD is indeed there, and they can escort. Anthony, as we well know, there were people at the game last night or on Wednesday night told that the police can escort them out of there. So they are around, but they're not in the immediate section to prevent this from happening. And I think what do you guys think of the idea of like beers being not stopped and the sale of beers being done in the 7th inning? Is that effective, or do people just stock up and say, hey, let's get it now in like the 6th inning before they stop selling, and then so they can go the whole game?
I mean, there's only so much that you can do in order to stop that stuff, and the stadiums, they do what they can to limit it. I personally think it's a good idea to limit the sale. I think the only thing that you could do to limit that is limit card transactions, because Yankee Stadium only takes cards. They don't take cash, really.
Right.
So having a system in place where it limits credit card, debit cards to, like, I don't know, 2 beers in a day, something like that, just to try and curtail it. But it's never going to happen because
it's all about money.
Because then you're getting into people's financial information too.
Yeah, exactly. They do the minimum moral obligations that they should be held to, and if anything happens, it's, well, we have these in place. If fans stock up on it, or if a fan has 8 beers through the course of the game, that's not on us because we prohibited them from getting any more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
I think.
Huh?
Yeah, I believe that you can only do so much with that. But I mean, at the end of the day, everything's about making money, and beers are $15 a pop, and I've witnessed people get 8 tall boys in one game. You think they're gonna you think they're gonna stop that? Hell no. They're just gonna keep going. I think that's why they probably have that rule in place, and maybe it's a regulation thing where, like, because at that point the games, it's getting late, people got to get home, and you at least somewhat eliminate the risk of any potential drunk drivers.
Yeah, I get it. And it's true. And Anthony, we should preface that the person you're referencing downing 8 beers is actually a pretty good guy. These are not losers. Not all of them are downing a lot of beers.
He is the greatest guy, and I hope he's listening. He's the GOAT.
He probably is, to be quite honest with you. And that's all. That's awesome. But yeah, so I get it. But, like, the thing is, Jeff, I'm not against it. It's just, is it effective? And and what you're saying, I get it. Like, to a game, but, like, how are you gonna go about tracking that? Do people have to hold, like, a little stamp that they got 1 or 2? Like,
yeah, there could be that. The card thing is too. I mean, I don't know how they would do that. That's got to be a whole new thing put in place, like in an off season.
Yeah,
that's a massive software development thing or program.
I mean, Lord knows they have enough money in order to get it implemented.
No, not if you listen to Randy Levine. You don't.
I mean that's really not the problem. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's only so much that you can do. The organization is only going to do the minimum that they have to do morally, and beyond that, it's give us your money, we'll give you overpriced beer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I mean, to Jeff's point, like, it's a good one earlier, what he said about, is he ever met a Mets fan, Red Sox fan. Like, there's other teams that have fans that are like this. Everyone's going to have fans that are like this. I say this in politics about the same thing. Like, there's always sides and tribes and cults, should we say, that have.
You can't say tribes anymore. That's cultural appropriation.
Fine. We'll say groups, fan groups, something like that, right? And there's always that small percentage of people that are going to cause these problems. There's always going to be, and you can always look at different examples. I mean, hockey teams. I can rattle off a couple of hockey teams right now that have fan bases that have a stereotype for having bad behavior. It happens across the leagues. You tend to experience those kind of things, but it doesn't make the whole fan base bad, especially a Yankee fan base, which is comprised of such a large following, the largest I think in the world. Though I have no data to back that up. I think that's true. I think you guys are all right on a lot of different ends. And but yeah, it was great seeing Miles Straw go 0 for 4.
And here's the last point that we have to bring up. What's going to get more hits for the media and bring more attention to media pages? Miles Straw tells off Yankee fans, climbs up wall, or Yankee fans throw trash on field, heckle player for racial stereotypes. What's going to get more hits?
Yeah. No, I get it. It's and Miles Straw, it's too much, man. But I will tell you though, with regard to Miles Straw, I'm gonna say it one more time. Nothing made me feel better than just seeing an 0 for 4 game and 2 strikeouts. That was pretty nice. That's literally what it was. Just all strikeouts. So, yeah, Anthony digs the whistle. All right, so guys, a little bit
Supreme.
yeah, right. All right, a little bit of a happy note, guys, because I know we were all rooting for this. We talked about it last week. Miguel Cabrera got his 3,000th hit, so he got it last week. So we're a little delayed on it, but our apologies for the delay. But yes, Miguel Cabrera did get his 3,000th hit against Colorado, I think. And yeah, so that was really impressive, guys. What are your thoughts on seeing one of the greatest Detroit Tiger players in the modern era?
Everyone's saying he's a Hall of Famer, but I'm honestly not sure. I'm just messing with you. Good for Miggy. It was good to see Jose Iglesias on the Rockies' former teammates give him a nice hug. In Detroit, too, which was pretty important in my opinion. Good for Miggy, man. One of the best to do it. And for a guy who started as a skinny twig who had issues as well, got himself, I think, in trouble. Didn't he, with the Marlins? What did he get in trouble for? But I can't recall off the top of my head. But, hey, everyone kind of forgets that, obviously, but he won a championship. And with the Tigers, he's been absolutely sensational. So, Miggy, a one-time and a generation talent.
Anybody else?
He is one of, you could argue he is one of the, if not the greatest right-handed hitter of all time. The guy has won the Triple Crown, 2-time AL MVP back-to-back. He's a champion, multiple batting titles. It's just Mr. Consistency all his whole career. That's what my Lord and Savior Derek Jeter said about him. He's just been consistent his whole career. And for him to do it for that long and to be, I remember when I was younger, when I was like a teenager watching the Yankee games and the mid to early 2010s when he was in his prime with the Tigers, when he was up, I would just be like, yeah, we're going to it's either that he's getting a hit somehow, some way. And he would just do it. You just expected it from him because he was going to do it. He was not feared of a hitter. He had the Barry Bonds-esque fear in all the pitchers when he stepped up to the batter's box. I know he's getting older now. He's not what he used to be, unfortunately, but you hope he kind of gives us a little bit more, that he kind of pad his stats in the hit column per se. I don't think he's going to get to 600 home runs. I just don't think it's in the cards for him, unfortunately, but that's okay. 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. You don't have steroids tied to you at all, and you bat over 300, and you have a World Series ring. You are going to be going down as the greatest to ever do it. And nothing but love and just the utmost respect for a guy who did it right and who's been doing it right for almost 20 years.
And he didn't do it against us. We intentionally walked him when he had the chance to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be fine if he got it against us, but Boone has other ideas. I don't know.
I say whatever to that, but
yeah, I know. I'm with you.
He could very well be the only one that gets the last one to get 3,000 hits in this decade.
Yes,
it's quite possible.
No, I think he might be. What we should talk about that though.
So wait,
more in depth though.
All right, yeah, all right. We'll note that down as something potentially to talk about. Maybe next week we will. Just with regard to the modern era of baseball. But guys, we do have to move on because we are kind of spending a lot of time here talking about the Yankees. Let's do our bros of the week because I know you all are excited. Who wants to go first? Who has a bro of the week? Does anybody have one?
I'll go first. Y'all couldn't get it in pre-recording, so I'm gonna say Walker Buehler, first complete game shutout of any pitcher this season. First one to do it.
That's true. Yeah.
Walker Buehler, congrats.
Forgot about it. Yeah, you did it yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Anthony.
Mr. Mike Trout himself. Jeff, like you said, he's got to bounce back at some point, and we are seeing vintage Mike Trout. OPS over 1,000, lacing the ball to all parts of the field, singles, doubles, check swing triples, and absolute dingers. You know, if only they had the pitching to get this man a ring, but we shall see. We shall see. They could make some noise.
If he can stay healthy for the whole year, yeah, they'll definitely make noise, and I think they will make the playoffs.
Oh, okay. Okay. Dom,
and then you woke up.
Come on, Dom. What's yours?
Mine would be Jurickson Profar.
You're going with your own team?
Yeah.
All right.
Another Padre, I know.
Or your former team member.
In this case, had himself 4 homers last year. Already has himself 5 as we speak. Has really carried the Padres. The numbers may not show, but he's on base. He's walked a ton, hitting a lot of doubles, homers, showing off that bat from both sides of the plate, and showing off his arm. Got himself some key assists as of late in left field, throwing out runners trying to go to second and scoring position. Jurickson Profar also a pretty clutch game-saving play to get Chris Taylor and extras in the top of the 10th, the 7-5 F775 DP. Jurickson Profar, it may not say it all over the box score, but man, he has been absolutely insane. I know Ozzie and Machado are hot, but the Padres wouldn't be this good too without Profar's performance.
Awesome. Yeah. That's a good pick, Dom. All right, now for mine, I mean, I chose a Yankee. I said to myself, I always think of mine before the pre-recording. But I couldn't go with anybody else but Anthony Rizzo. I can't. I mean, come on, man, the Italian Stallion. He's just been he hit 3 homers on Tuesday night against Baltimore, and he had another homer, I think. How many homers has he had lately? I mean, he's just red hot. And I can't even keep track.
He has 8 on the season. Yeah, he leads the league.
All I know is that he got 20.
His only home runs was during that series. There's 3 home runs. It was only in that one game.
Okay. Yeah, so that's I mean, he's just red hot. I could not pick Rizzo. I mean, he's just been so good, and I'm glad to see that the Yankees as a whole have been looking good as well. So I said to myself I wouldn't do a Yankee, but I did. So all right, we'll try not to do that next week. Guys, series of the week. I mean, not a lot of preparation for this, but series of the week. You guys got ones? Got some series of the week?
What we got on schedule?
What do we say here? I see a couple blowouts this weekend.
A lot of, I don't know if a lot of potential blowouts.
I'll tell you one. I got one.
All right.
Should I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. All right. Twins Rays. In St. Pete. I say this because the Twins have impressed me this year. They're playing far better than they did than the last season. And I have to go with the Rays here. With the Rays Twins series. I mean, it's just pretty solid. So, yeah, I say the Rays. Pretty easy one for me here. Jeff?
Y'all know I love the divisional rivalries and matchups. Gonna go Mets-Phillies. Mets surging ahead of the entire league right now. Phillies hovering around 500.
Yeah.
Really trying to scrap together a season and finally put all the pieces together. It should be a scrappy contest, especially if if a couple more Mets players get hit. That's really gonna fuel some more aggravation for the Mets as a whole.
Yeah. Anthony, who's your series of the week?
Mine's kind of gonna be in the same reasoning as yours was, but it's a different matchup. It's gonna be Angels White Sox. Angels are 13-7, and the White Sox are 7-11. You know, everyone was saying the White Sox were kind of gonna run away with this division, or it was there to lose. and they're losing it right now. You know, obviously injuries have not been very kind to them. Giolito got hurt early on in the season. Eloy Jimenez did, you know, strain his hamstring really, really bad. He's going to be out a while. Tim Anderson, he had a suspension early on in the season. He unfortunately got another one like a week or two ago. It's just kind of not, as of now, they're struggling right now. I think internally, I think as a clubhouse, and I put the blame on Tony La Russa. He's got to rally his troops together and get them back to playing, you know, the baseball that he knows and that baseball fans know that this team can do, because they could be one of the most feared teams in the league, but we're not seeing that right now. But the Angels are 13-7. Everyone wants them to be good. I think at this point, for Mike Trout's sake, so that he does make to the playoffs and that he can show what he can do on the bigger stage and a bigger audience. So, and they're rolling. You know, it's going to be in the first matchup of the series is Syndergaard Giolito, and that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a pretty solid series. And Giolito will be returning tonight against Noah Syndergaard, as I think Anthony alluded to. So yeah, a lot of really good series, guys. I see a lot of blowout. Okay, I'm going to change things up. What do you guys think is the biggest blowout series? You look at the slate.
I got it. You guys are gonna love me. All right.
Blowout.
Yankees, Royals.
And why do you say that?
The Royals pitching, we can go out there and perform better than they can in Kansas City. So I think the Yankees got to take full advantage of this. I think they will. Joey Gallo's starting to get hot. Our best friend, Tommy Tanks. And,
yeah, right?
Yeah, so I really do think the Royals pitching, it needs help. It's young, and it's going to be out of the water.
Okay, anybody else? Anybody else want to
Pirates,
contest that?
Padres.
I was just about to say that.
Padres
Reverse.
are just a sad organization.
The Pirates find a way to
Nah,
lose.
if your run differential
Scores 21-10. I'm kidding.
Yeah, if you get outscored or you lose this series, Dom, shame on your team.
It would be hilarious.
That's like us not winning against Baltimore.
Pittsburgh's run differential on the season, guys, is -35 to start, and the Padres are at +14. So.
And our pitching has been phenomenal, and our offense is starting to get a little hot. I know it's the Reds, but you got to start somewhere. Let's get it going. Thanks. Now you're pumping me up.
All right. Yeah. I don't see any other blowouts here, guys. I see a lot of good.
I do.
Oh wait, I got one more. I got
Rockies and Reds.
Two more. Oh wait, what?
Rockies and Reds. Rockies are third in the league in average. Reds are dead last in ERA and WHIP. And guess where they're playing?
It's in Coors in Denver.
They're playing in good old Coors Field. The Rockies, if the Rockies put up less than 30 runs this series, I will be disappointed in them.
They're not going to put up more than 30.
I'm expecting double digits every single game from the Rockies.
How about a disappointment, Jeff? Remember when we used to love the Reds last year, and now they're just cold.
It's really unfortunate, and there's always that one team that, you know, one season, you know, they're hovering around 500. Maybe they could break through, and then the next season, nah, they're dead last. They're pretty close to dead last. They compete with Baltimore for saddest team in the league.
No, Baltimore's far above them. They have 3 wins.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. They compete with Baltimore. It's still a very young season.
Yeah. All right, moving on, guys, because we got to get moving here. I know we wanted to get to the Mets. The Mets have had enough of these getting hit in the face situations. They brawled with the Cardinals again. Nolan Arenado tried starting this. Nolan Arenado was handed a 2-game suspension, by the way, before we came on. Major League Baseball, I think, made the right move. Do you guys disagree with that? And multiple fines were handed out and a couple of suspensions. But overall, did Major League Baseball do the right thing here?
100%.
Okay. And if you're watching the video podcast, we got the brawl here.
I think the way he kind of obviously was jawing at the pitcher and the way he kind of just shoved, I think McCann was the catcher. I was like, you're just asking for it, my guy.
Yeah.
As much as, like, the Mets are kind of, I kind of alluded to this earlier with like the ball, like the baseballs and stuff, why the Mets are getting hit so much potentially, or maybe the NL's just kind of over good old, as they call him, Uncle Steve, and just buying his way to a ring, even though that's kind of what the Yankees kind of do. But not as much, but like not what the Mets basically did, where their whole team is basically just free agents. It is the right move that he got suspended, but I don't know. I don't know why the Mets are only getting hit though. I just don't get it. I don't know why it's only them.
Yeah, it's really strange. But yeah, Arenado, I think, had no reason to start that, and I feel bad for the Mets. Like, okay, I don't like Lindor, and that was the first instance. But then Alonso, like, I never seen a team get plunked twice in less than a month in the face. That's just. I don't know if it's unlucky, coincidental. I don't know what people have against the Mets. I don't hate Pete Alonso. I like Pete Alonso. He's one of the few Mets I like. And yeah, I felt bad for him with that.
It's just unfortunate coincidence. Every now and then there's a team that just goes through a horrific stretch where it's like every single game someone's getting hit. It just happens. It's just the way that it happens, unfortunately.
Exactly. Yeah, it's something else. But all right, Dom, do you have anything to add before we go to our last segment?
Sorry, my computer overheats easily, so when it does that, it makes a lot of noise. So
all good.
Yeah. But no, I think Arenado was in the wrong for that, right? Mets getting plunked, not right. And I'm a huge Pete Alonso fan too. I grew on him, actually, as his career has gone so far. He used to not be a fan, and I started to grow on him, becoming one of my favorite Mets.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just really unfortunate. I think Jeff's right. He said it best. Like, it's a really tough situation. But, hey, Jeff, we got time for the sports, or the fantasy baseball update, excuse me. So real quick, I'm getting destroyed. I haven't changed my lineup, just full disclosure. But there are some good matchups there. So Jeff, fire away.
No, Tommy, you're doing just fine. So last week, just as a recap for everyone, Jeter's winners beat the Cincinnati Gorillas, and the Bronx Bombers lost to the San Diego Tacos, who have been renamed a new culture for that young franchise to Ron DeSantis 2024. And for this week, it is Jeter's winners down 17, 242, 259 to Ron DeSantis 2024. And the Bronx Bombers are up by 157, 156 to the Cincinnati Gorillas.
Ooh, that's a tight one.
All right. That's not too bad. But I need to pick it up though. Okay. I haven't even looked lately. That's how bad it is. So, yeah. What do you guys think about this so far?
I think, honestly, listen, I know it's early, but looking at our teams, I think Anthony and I are the most likely to be finals bound. I do.
That's a lot. That's a lot of talk for someone who lost opening week, and he had 2 weeks to win.
It's all right. It's all right. Just wait. Just wait, Tommy. He'll be 0-18 before you know it.
You're not wrong, probably.
You lost to Harambe, Dom. That's all I'm saying. You lost to Harambe.
The Cincinnati Gorillas got it.
Yes, sir.
But the DeSantis 2024s have it even more. DeSantis
2024. Oh my God. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just got to change my lineup. I don't know if it would have changed much. I know Rizzo got 23 fantasy points, in one day, right, Jeff, or something like that, and I had him on the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah, you hate to see it. It's unfortunate, but hey, my bro of the week. But whatever.
Yeah, you're hanging in there this week, so we'll see.
Hanging in there this week, so hopefully I just got to keep up the lineup consistency, and that's the most important part. Guys, do you have anything to add before we get going to the trivia?
Nope.
Nothing?
I want to get the trivia right.
You want to get the trivia right? Okay. Well, we have. Okay. Well, we're gonna get a really hard one for all of you that won't have anything to do with regard to this season. We try to keep it either historical or more present, more modern, and we try to do that as best we can here. So, I think I asked one of these already, but here we go. I definitely didn't ask this one. So, all right, let's go with a Yankee style question here, and it's gonna be a simple one. You'll know the player, but let's get right down to it. You all know Roger Maris of the New York Yankees, when he played, obviously. Numbers now retired. How many intentional walks did he get in his 61 home run season? How many intentional walks did he get? This may be a trick question. How many intentional walks did Roger Maris get in his 61 home run season? And just a little bit of a hint there. He was always hitting in front of Mickey Mantle, number 7. Go. Got it? Anything?
We'll say 12.
12? Nope.
7.
Nope.
Are we
19.
remotely close?
None of you are remotely close. The answer? You guys are going to be pissed at me.
0.
It's 61, isn't it?
The answer is 0. The answer is 0.
Oh.
Really?
Because that was the hint. I get it. He was.
You suck, Tommy.
So why walk? Yeah.
The answer is 0. But hey, that's whatever. Yeah, the answer is 0. We'll try to do better next week. I gotta give you guys 2 next week for that one.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta give you guys 2 next week. One on Tuesday, one on Friday. Because that's
I say
only fair.
I say one of us do one next week, so that Tommy
Hey,
gets a turn.
I offered you guys. I said if you guys have anything interesting, I would love to participate.
All right, I'll
Who wants to do it? Who wants to? All right, Jeff got it. All right.
I'll come up with one for Thursday. My finals are coming up soon. I got a final presentation on next Tuesday, so I probably will not be here.
Okay.
So I will come up with one for Thursday.
Alrighty. And before we go, Jeff, sponsored by Live Sports Traders, what is the free pick of the week before we go?
All right. So the pick of the week will be Rockies on Saturday against the Reds -1.5. We'll go with the spread.
All right. You heard it first. You heard it here first. Live Sports Traders, for the free pick of the week, it will be the Rockies. The money line over the Cincinnati Reds. You heard it here first.
Spread.
I'm sorry.
Not
Spread.
the money line,
I apologize.
the spread.
I apologize. The spread. The 1.5. The 1.5 runs. So you heard it here first.
I
Huh?
hyped him up as the blowout. I got to hype him up for the pick.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's putting up what he's putting down, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. We're 1 for 1 on free picks of the week, unfortunately, but I'm sure that will be well above coming into the end of the season, I'm sure. And, we're looking forward to that. So, hey, if you get to listen, you get to make some money. So that's the opportunity you get when listening to Swing the Twig. So, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll be going. Anything? Good?
I pulled 4 diamonds in the show throughout the course of the
I
week.
got to play. I still got to play that game.
Play me, Jeff. You'll never want to play again.
If you guys play each other,
again.
let me know if you guys play each other. I want to Twitch stream that game.
I'm
No,
not.
you don't have the show.
I don't have 22.
Oh, then that's no good.
Yeah.
Dom, you got to buy
There's
it.
no, yeah, that's,
I haven't
No, I'm
bought
not
it yet,
gonna
but
do
you're the
it,
guy that
man.
should.
I hear
on,
it's
Dom.
one of the worst games because the hitting is whacked and any perfects are just lineouts.
Yeah, but that
the
doesn't
hitting
stop
is whack because of that. The hitting is whack, and also this would irk you too. You could pitches that are balls. For some reason, they'll go out. Whether you pitch it in, someone could take it out, or if you throw low down and they get on it, and I'm meaning a ball, Dom, they'll pimp it.
Right.
Oh, that's every year. That's been a
No,
problem
no,
since
no,
like 2019.
But we mean like
No,
upward.
but this is more predominant. I feel like it's more predominant now. Like this wasn't a thing when I was playing in like 19 and 20. Like
Okay.
this is more like I never had this issue, but I'm just like, what the hell? It's kind of ridiculous, but
That's why
That's just
I
me.
don't do online. I don't do online.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't
I'm a
wait.
good man. Don't do online.
I can't wait. It's when I get
Don't
time,
do
I'll
it.
play it for sure. When I'm down in Florida, I'll probably play it for a bit. We'll have to see. So, all right, that will do it for this week. We'll be back here next Friday, or I'm sorry, Tuesday. We'll be back here Tuesday. I promise you that we'll be here Tuesday, as long as there's no emergencies or anything like that. So, all right, we'll be back here. We will see you guys then. And until that time, and good luck on the free pick, and have a great weekend. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the Swing the Twig podcast. If you really love this show, please give us a 5-star review and be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns, email the podcast at swingthetwig@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, go to our Instagram at swingthetwigpod, or you can go on Twitter at swingtwig.